But tonight, in the wake of this verdict, many are asking, should charges have even been brought in this case in the first place? And did the police chief and the state's attorney, now no longer in those positions, initially make the correct call in not filing charges? Did the special prosecutor appointed by the governor file charges because of political pressure? I've said this before. The power is enormous, the process overwhelming, the consequences dire. It is a decision to engage and put into motion the criminal justice system. The decision to charge someone with a crime, the decision that puts everything about the accused at risk, his reputation, his livelihood, his family, and his civil liberties. The one who makes this decision, the one who carries the ultimate power, the district attorney, the chief prosecutor. And tonight, George Zimmerman is a free man, acquitted of the murder of 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. But in the aftermath of this verdict, the nation grapples with the difficult issues played out in that small courtroom in Sanford, Florida. Self-defense, profiling, manslaughter, stand your ground. The ultimate question, though, should charges have even been filed in the first place? The duty of a prosecutor is not merely to convict, but to seek justice. The duty of a prosecutor is to be fair and objective to both sides. The duty of a prosecutor is to follow the law. The job is a weighty one. It is a difficult one. But it becomes even more problematic when public pressure becomes part of the equation. It's a problem every elected prosecutor encounters. I know. I've faced the public outrage of unpopular prosecutorial decisions. But any prosecutor worth his or her salt knows politics ends on election night. Politics have no place in the courthouse, and politics must be abandoned on the courthouse steps. The job is about the law and the facts, nothing more and nothing less. The obligation to bring charges and engage the system only where the prosecutor believes that the case can be proven beyond a reasonable doubt to the unanimous satisfaction of the entire jury.
When we announced the charges 15 months ago, we also promised that we would seek the truth for Trayvon Martin and due process for George Zimmerman, that we would get all of the facts and details of this very difficult case before a jury, and that we chose to do it that way because we felt that everyone had a right to know everything about this case.
Almost every legal expert on both sides of the aisle agreed, though, in contrast to Special Prosecutor Angela Corey, that the evidence presented by the prosecutors was insufficient to convict, which begs the question of whether the charges against George Zimmerman were proper or a capitulation to public pressure by the governor and that appointed state's attorney, who continues to say that the public had a right to watch this trial as though it's theater, as though criminal justice and evidence is about theater for the public's interest. Still pending, though. Why did Special Prosecutor Angela Corey file charges in the first place? Why did she not present this case to a grand jury scheduled for April 10th of 2012, but instead filed charges on her own the very next day, canceling the grand jury? Why did we not see the picture of George Zimmerman's injuries until after the charges were filed? Why did she not hand over seemingly exculpatory material as required by the law?
It was a fight that we had to fight. They outfunded us. They made it extraordinarily difficult. If only we had the time back that it took us to fight for the stuff, the information discovery, the just result that we had to fight for, this case might have been tried 6 months ago, and certainly I wouldn't have had the hundreds and hundreds of hours wasted in a situation where they never should have made us waste time. Was it fair? You know, it was a little bit David and Goliath. but we won.
So why did she then fire the very man who worked for her, who revealed that the information from Trayvon's phone was not handed over to the defense as required by law? In light of the acquittal, why did she continue to claim that George Zimmerman was really guilty at the press conference after the not guilty verdict? Still pending the issue of sanctions against that prosecutor, Angela Corey. Meanwhile, an unarmed 17-year-old who simply went for a candy run in a place that he had a right to be is dead.